Time to delve back into the past again. It's time for Streets of Rage. If you owned a Mega Drive and didn't play this game, shame on you! This was one of the games you'd just binge with friends and play time and time again. This was pure arcade-style gold. The city had been overrun by an evil criminal syndicate run by the mysterious Mr. X, and it's up to 3 young ex-cops to set things straight by putting their fists squarely into his face. So you've got 8 levels. There's a decent selection, including levels on boats, in factories, and of course on the streets themselves. There's some very good use of parallax backgrounds, giving a sense of depth and life to each level. However, the first 2 levels do seem a little similar and generic, and it takes a while before the variety kicks in. To this day I still find little touches, such as a boat level bobbing and rocking as if it were actually on the water, and a penultimate elevator level to be utterly brilliant. They're very small but effective touches, and have informed decisions in other games which have tried to emulate those effects. Naturally, you can't just walk around these levels. These are the Streets of Rage. You've got to defend yourself. Couple of options here. You can use your bare fists. They're actually quite handy. You can do a basic combo. You can grab enemies before hitting them or throwing them. You can do the very cheap jump kick. Or you can use these tactics together to really cause some hell. For example, you can punch someone 3 times. Don't do the 4th attack because that'll knock them back. Grab them, hit them 2 more times, then jump over them and throw them. You can also use a variety of weapons, including knives, broken beer bottles, metal bats, and lead pipes. The problem with the weapons, though, is that the long-range ones take too long to swing, leaving you vulnerable, and the shorter weapons have such little range you might as well just use your fists. You can find these weapons by getting them from the bad guys, or from trash cans, or phone booths. You might also find health pickups, including apples and roasted meat. Again, in phone booths and trash cans. 90s gaming, eh? Also available are bags of money and gold bars which increase your score, extra lives, and extra uses of the special move. The special move? Oh yeah, I haven't mentioned that one yet. Your buddies that are still on the force can lend you a hand. At a tap of a button they'll be there with heavy-duty firearms to blast your enemies away. And this car can get anywhere too. It'll appear on a boat, in a factory, hell, even if you're halfway up a high-rise building on a small elevator, they can still land the shot. You can't summon them on the last level though, so it seems the top floor of a high-rise is where they draw the line of ridiculousness. It does beg the question as to why you don't just borrow this car, and how the explosions and rings of fire don't hurt your character, but it will make mincemeat out of most bosses. Every level has a boss, and you'll be fighting them multiple times. Sometimes they're not even recolored. Most bosses have a simple enough pattern and can be defeated easily enough. They mostly have 2 health bars and aren't a real issue until the later levels, when the game will make you fight them as mini-bosses for a level, or you'll have to fight several in a row, such as on the last level. One of the harder bosses is just a recolor of one of the heroes, Blaze. She's also near impossible to beat as seeing as there's 2 of her and they rarely stand still. There are always 2 bosses on co-op, and in the later levels there are 2 even if you're going it solo. As fun as most of the encounters are, it feels somewhat cheapened by the fact that you'll fight the same boss multiple times with different colour schemes. The same is sadly true for the regular enemies. The ones you meet in level 1 are the ones you'll keep fighting throughout the entire game. They simply start coming in different colour schemes and with more health. The game's still a blast, but some more variety in the goons we beat up would have been nice. Probably there doesn't seem to be a big difference in the number of enemies on screen in single player and in co-op. So yeah, co-op. The main reason this game was so popular in my view, a buddy could jump in and join the action with you. Everyone seemed to want Axel and no one ever wanted Blaze. Maybe it was just my age at the time, what with girls having coopies and all. The mode made and broke many a friendship. Forget the fact that there are 2 of every boss in this mode, your biggest threat is your friend. More often than not you'll be jump kicked or smacked by a lead pipe, by accident, and 5 seconds later you'd attack them. The lines between an accident and payback started to get very blurry very quickly. This was capitalised on in the game's ending, where you're asked to be Mr. X's right-hand man. If you both pick yes, or one of you picks no and the other picks yes, then you have to fight to the death. I remember using the level select code and running through the last level just to get to this fight. Hell, it was so popular it later warranted its own mode in the sequels. Overall, this was a damn fine game, and it has a proud place on my shelf. Heck, I even play it on my iPhone during my lunch break at work. If you haven't played it, there really is no excuse. It's been on enough compilations by now for you to find it easily enough. Next time we'll be taking a look at Streets of Rage 2, what the sequel improves on, and where it falls down. Until then,